The moon did not arrive peacefully. It did not gently float into Earth's orbit like some glowing romantic nightlight sent by the universe to help poets feel dramatic. No. The moon was born from violence. Absolute violence. Planet-sized violence. The kind of violence where early Earth got smashed in the face by another world, melted into a glowing nightmare, threw debris into space, and somehow, from that flaming disaster buffet, the moon appeared. And here's the insane part. The moon almost didn't stay, because in the early days of the Earth-Moon system, everything was unstable, chaotic, and one gravitational mistake away from becoming the worst breakup in planetary history. Today, the moon looks calm, peaceful, beautiful, like a giant gray lamp floating in the sky, minding its dusty business. But 4.5 billion years ago, the moon was terrifyingly close. Earth was spinning insanely fast. The tides were gigantic. The planet was molten. The moon was slowly moving away. And the entire system was basically a cosmic relationship held together by gravity, lava, and luck. To understand how ridiculous this is, we have to go back to the beginning. Not the beginning of humanity, not the dinosaurs, not even the first bacteria. We are going back to when Earth was barely Earth. About 4.5 billion years ago, the solar system was a construction site run by drunk physics. There were rocks everywhere, dust everywhere, mini planets everywhere. Things were constantly smashing into each other, like the universe had no insurance. The early solar system was not calm. It was not elegant. It was not some peaceful ballet of planets forming gracefully around the sun. It was demolition derby with gravity. Earth was still growing. It was hot. It was unstable. It was being bombarded by leftover debris. Then along came another planetary body. Scientists often call it Theia. Theia was probably around the size of Mars, although exact details remain debated. And Theia did what every responsible Mars-sized object should absolutely not do. It slammed into Earth at enormous speed. This was not a tap. This was not a bump. This was not two planets exchanging business cards. This was a collision so violent it may have melted much of Earth's outer layers and blasted huge amounts of material into orbit. The universe really saw a baby planet and said, needs more trauma. The impact likely threw vaporized and molten rock into a disk around Earth. This debris then began clumping together. Gravity did its usual unpaid labor. Bits of rock smashed into other bits of rock. Those clumps became bigger clumps. Eventually, that debris formed the moon. So yes, the moon may literally be made from the wreckage of a planetary collision. Romantic, isn't it? Every time someone says, look at the beautiful moon, just remember, that thing is cosmic shrapnel. Now, scientists still debate the exact details of the giant impact. Some models suggest Theia hit Earth at an angle. Some suggest a more energetic collision. Some suggest Theia and Earth may have had similar compositions. Some newer models even explore complex mixing, multiple impacts, or high-energy scenarios, because apparently, one planet-sized crash was not complicated enough. Science looked at the moon and said, this came from an impact, then immediately followed with, but wait, why is the chemistry so annoying? The moon rocks brought back by Apollo astronauts revealed that Earth and the moon are surprisingly similar in certain isotopes. That matters, because if the moon were mostly made from Theia, you might expect it to look chemically different from Earth, but in many ways, it looks weirdly Earth-like, which is fascinating, and also deeply inconvenient. The moon is basically a witness at a crime scene who gives answers that create more crimes. But however it happened, one thing is clear. The moon formed close to Earth, very close. Today, the moon is about 384,400 kilometers away. That sounds normal, because we're used to it. But when it first formed, the moon may have orbited only a fraction of that distance from Earth. Some estimates place it around 20,000 to 30,000 kilometers away, just outside a dangerous region called the Roche limit. The Roche limit is where tidal forces can rip an object apart. Basically, if a moon gets too close to a planet, the planet's gravity pulls harder on the near side than the far side. That difference can stretch and tear the moon apart. The planet doesn't even need to touch it. It just gravitationally bullies it until it disintegrates. Saturn's rings may be an example of material that could not come together into a proper moon because it was too close to Saturn. So when the moon formed near Earth, it had to form outside the Roche limit. Too close, and it becomes a ring. Too far, and maybe it doesn't form the same way. The early moon was basically born beside a gravitational wood chipper and told, good luck, and somehow, it made it. But surviving birth was only the first problem, because early Earth was spinning much faster than it does today. A day may have lasted only 5 or 6 hours. Imagine that. A full day in 6 hours. Humanity would be completely useless. People already complain about 24 hours not being enough. Now imagine breakfast, lunch, dinner, taxes, existential dread, and sleep all inside 6 hours. Absolutely unworkable. But for Earth and the Moon, that rapid spin was critical. The Moon raised massive tides on Earth, not cute beach tides, not gentle, let's go surfing tides. We are talking enormous tidal bulges on a young, hot, possibly magma-covered planet. Earth's rotation pulled those tidal bulges slightly ahead of the Moon. The gravity from those bulges tugged on the Moon. That tug transferred energy from Earth's rotation into the Moon's orbit. The result? Earth slowed down. The Moon moved away. This is still happening today. The Moon is receding from Earth at about 3.8 centimeters per year. That means every year, the Moon moves away roughly the width of your fingernail. Very slow, very polite, very annoying if you're trying to keep a celestial relationship together for billions of years. Because over deep time, tiny changes become enormous. The Moon used to be much closer. It looked much bigger in the sky. Tides were stronger. Earth spun faster. And as the Moon moved outward, Earth's days became longer. So if you've ever wished there were more hours in the day, congratulations. The Moon helped with that. Slowly, over billions of years. Honestly, not the best customer service. Now here is where the title becomes serious. Could Earth have actually lost the Moon? Not in the dramatic Hollywood sense where the Moon suddenly packs a suitcase and leaves on a Tuesday. The Moon is still gravitationally bound to Earth, but in the early chaotic solar system, several things could have gone wrong. If the impact had been different, the debris might not have formed one large moon. It could have fallen back to Earth. It could have formed smaller moons. It could have spread into a ring. The Moon could have formed too close and been torn apart. The system could have evolved differently if Earth's spin, Thea's impact angle, or the debris disk had changed. In other words, we didn't almost lose the Moon after it became the Moon in some single calendar day. The real day Earth almost lost the Moon was the beginning. The formation event itself, the one violent moment where Earth either gained a stable companion or got a temporary debris ring that eventually collapsed into a cosmic mess. And that matters because the Moon became one of the most important objects in Earth's history, not just because it looks pretty. Scientists debate exactly how extreme that variation would be, but the Moon definitely helps stabilize Earth's spin axis. And that stability may have made Earth's climate more predictable over geological time. Not perfectly predictable. This planet has had ice ages, mass extinctions, supervolcanoes, asteroid impacts, and whatever social media is, but still more stable than it might have been without the Moon. The Moon also drives tides, and tides may have mattered for early life. This part is debated. Some scientists suggest tidal environments, wet, dry, could have helped chemical reactions needed for life. Others argue life may have started in deep-sea hydrothermal vents or other environments. So we cannot honestly say, no Moon means no life. That would be too simple, and science hates simple answers, almost as much as the universe hates being understood. But the Moon likely shaped Earth in important ways. Tides affected coastlines. Tides affected ocean mixing. Tides affected the rhythm of life once life emerged. Many animals still use lunar cycles today. Corals, sea turtles, some fish, tiny marine organisms. Human beings also looked at it and immediately invented calendars, myths, gods, romance, and conspiracy theories. So, mixed results. But let's imagine Earth never kept the Moon. What happens? First, the night sky changes forever. No bright moon, no lunar phases, no eclipses, no Apollo missions, no moon landing footage. No, that's one small step moment. No dramatic full moons in horror movies. Werewolves lose their entire brand identity. Astronomers get darker skies, which is nice for telescopes, but culturally humanity loses one of its biggest sky companions. The Moon has been with us for all of human history. Every civilization saw it, tracked it, worshipped it, feared it, used it to measure time, and argued about whether it was made of cheese because apparently humans needed hobbies. But beyond culture, Earth itself would be different. Days might not have lengthened in the same way. Tides would be weaker, driven mainly by the sun. Earth's axial tilt might be less stable. The evolution of coastal ecosystems might have changed. Life may still have emerged, or it may have taken different paths. Nobody can say exactly. That's what makes this so fascinating. The Moon is not just decoration. It is part of Earth's story. A massive stabilizing, tide-raising, eclipse-making, poet-traumatizing lump of ancient collision debris. And we nearly didn't get it. If you enjoyed this journey through one of the most violent origin stories in the solar system, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next adventure into the strangest corners of the universe. Leave a comment below. If Earth never had the Moon, do you think life would still have become as complex as it is today? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.